begin recording if the chair doesn't mind.
Yeah, but we have to send something to Craig, I think. He doesn't have the Zoom thing, maybe? If I'm reading.
Craig is.
Oh, he's on.
Is he on? Okay.
There
Yeah, he's on. I see him.
He just doesn't have the, okay.
Yeah, it took me a minute. Apologies.
Not a
worried
problem.
about you, Craig. I wanted you.
Eric,
All right, great.
Eric, can I begin recording if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. All right.
Recording in progress.
All right, I will call the meeting to order.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Let me just pull up the agenda here. See what we're supposed to talk about again.
Don, I'm digging the mustache.
Oh,
Wanted to be more like you, Craig.
I got a little on the bottom. Huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. All right. So first on the list is the business social. So I think we're confirmed with Bruce for April 4th. If that's the date, if I remember. And Larry was going to handle kind of organizing with Bruce, whatever we need to do for food and stuff like that. And Amy was going to organize the invite list.
yes.
So I don't know.
Yep. All good.
Amy, do you think, we should send out invites?
Yeah. So I was, before you came on and I stopped speaking, so I took the master business list that I think you had sent me that had, I think probably at least 7 years old. And then I took the one that Dan Gaffney had from like the Live tournament that he had sort of put together. And then I took the one from Bob Romer and I just combined them all. So any list I had, I just combined them all. So yeah, I had one, and it had like 250 some businesses on it. And the Backyard Bolton people that you had sent. And so I started calling, and then I just decided to send like a mass email to all of them just to see, who would respond. So I got a bunch that bounced. So I was like, okay, well, they're probably not in business. So I just got rid of them. And then I had probably 40 people respond saying either they were in business or they weren't. So I got rid of anybody that said they were no longer in business, and highlighted in blue anybody that said they are. So I kind of went through, and I know who is like definitely an active business, but I need help with sort of the people that are on there that you guys may know that are business that I might not know, because I just really didn't want to highlight somebody unless I knew they were a business. So that's kind of the list I'm going by to send out the invite. So I can.
That's great. Yeah, could you send that to everybody?
Yeah. And then if you know of somebody that is a definite business or a definite not a business, then let me know and I can clean that up.
Yeah, you could probably just make it a Google Doc or something and share everybody over.
If I knew how to do that, I would. So I'll it's probably really easy. So I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
But we just need to give you our Gmail addresses so that you can add us to it as contributors, and then we all have access to the same version of this.
I think you can even add on Gmail, but it's probably easier with Gmail.
Yeah.
I think there's an extra step.
I should just put it in the drive that we already have. Don't we already have one?
I don't know. We had a sheet, but I don't know if we had.
It was just a sheet. Yeah, I don't think we have a drive. It was a sheet.
But we could. If we all want one sheet, that's fine too. Or we could create a group folder.
That'd be fine too.
Group folder probably makes sense. I'm sure we're gonna have other needs for it in the future.
Okay.
Sean, Cyril, do you want to?
Yeah, I can. You want me to? I'll create a folder and just move the sheet into it, and then I'll look. I think all the emails that we have here is everyone's primary, right? The one that we use for these meetings.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So I'll start there, and then if you don't have a Gmail and you try to open it, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I send from both mine, but use my Gmail. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put it in there, and I have it highlighted. Anybody in blue is a definite business. Anybody that's not, are people that just didn't respond. That I'm sure there's a ton on there that aren't businesses anymore, but if you guys can just go through and take a look at
Sure.
it, highlight in blue if you know their
Oh,
business.
I saw Sean added his, yeah, actually, people want to just give me their, if they have a Gmail account, just send it in this chat room and I'll use
Oh,
those.
okay. Yeah, I think mine's already a Gmail, so.
Yeah, I think I use my work address for this, so I'd rather just use my Gmail for that.
Yeah,
Eric,
create
what
a group.
time? Oh, it's confirmed for April 4th at what time?
We said 5 to 6, right?
Right. Yes.
5
Yes,
to
we did.
6:30 or something like that.
6 p.m. We'll call it.
5 to 6
Oh,
or
5
6:30.
to 6. Is that what you said?
Is that right, Amy?
5 to
that's
6:30.
I haven't
Yeah.
sent anything out yet, so it kind of could be
Oh.
whatever we want.
5 to
but
6:30.
I think
Yeah,
5
I-
is good because once you get later, people are not going to tend to go.
I think 6:30 might be good though, because if people trickle in a little bit late.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
late.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what we thought when we discussed this.
Yeah.
My
I
calendar.
I
invite was
assume if
5
it
to
goes a little
6:30.
later because people are getting drinks, that's fine too, right? I mean, yeah, he's not going to kick us out. He'll just
No.
take more money.
Right.
No, there. I bet there'll be at least a small group that hangs out past 6:30.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. But
I recently got invited to come to the Hudson Business Association. They have like a networking group that meets. And so I went and they had like a coffee thing. And then I went to this lunch today and there was probably like 30 businesses there for lunch at Rail Trail. I mean, it's lunch at Rail Trail, so that's always, a draw, but it was very active. And so, I think that if we could, I don't know how many people will attend this, but I think it's definitely something that that businesses are gonna it'll be good for networking. And if we could, kind of model it against what they're doing over there, it would be great.
So you were thinking we'd invite everybody that's on that list that's a business, brick and mortar and in-home?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, there's a lot of in-homes. So I don't know,
Right.
But I mean, again, like and an attorney, I mean, yeah, they can network with other professionals and
Mhm.
I don't know.
Maybe, can you put a column maybe on that sheet of like who we're going to invite and who we're not or something? Or, I mean, we don't have to, but
Yeah, I'm just trying to do like, what's the,
criteria.
how are we going to decide? Yeah.
Let's add a column and label brick and mortar versus in home and start with the brick and mortars and see how many we have. And if there's enough room to invite more people, we will at that point. But even just thinking of the people that showed up when Live Golf did their things, that was mostly limited to like brick and mortar businesses and large landowners, and that was still a pretty good crowd just with that limited audience.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of consulting and those types of things. I think we have enough of brick and mortar business. I mean, I'm not a brick and mortar, but professional, what I don't even know what you would say, how you distinguish them, but
brick and mortar plus like professional services, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Rather than,
which would be like maybe attorneys and I don't know, realtors,
consultants, etc.
Yeah. There was a few that are on there that say they're a Bolton business, but her address is Stowe. She lives in Stowe and it's not a brick and mortar. And the other is the cleaning advantage, which used to be Karen Bickford that lived in Bolton, but she moved. And so now whoever took it over lives in Lancaster. But they said they're a Bolton business. So I don't know, how you want to handle that when they're saying they're a Bolton business, but they don't actually live in Bolton or have a storefront in Bolton.
I don't know, play it by ear, by case basis, I guess. If you think it's like a long time, like I know Lisa Miller, who was part of Bolton for a while, and then when she moved, she was still kind of doing stuff for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to be part of the business community, I
Yeah,
mean, I have
exactly.
no problem with it.
Along those lines, like any prospective business owners, like people that are looking at properties, I don't know, maybe that would be good to invite people. Like I know
I
that
don't necessarily find those people, but
I'm not sure. Like I know that like people who have applications in potentially, like I know there's the retail marijuana. They're like getting pretty close, aren't they? So
They've got their HC, of course, signed, but I think they're still at the provisional licensure stage. But I
okay,
do know they already have licenses for different operations under the cannabis usage. So
Yeah.
I think they would make sense to actually have there. Yeah,
yeah, just because in case they had any questions or something like that.
Yeah. of course, especially for these preliminary talks that they're looking to schedule with the
Yeah.
planning board, it would make sense to kind of bring them in from the cold and start getting to know them.
So anybody along that line, like, so maybe Todd, you have a better idea than me, but and I don't know how many active things there are besides that, but
I've gotten some rumblings, but really the cannabis user they're the furthest along among them. So I'll be reaching out to them, extending the invitation as well.
okay.
Yeah, I also at the bottom of the sheet have just started adding businesses that I know are in town that weren't on the list. So if you see anything like that, just add them at the. I just started writing the name. I don't have all their contact info, but we can add that later. But just I know there were a few things. I was over at the post office, and behind the post office, there's ageless enhancements med spa.
Yeah.
And
and there's also something else underneath Amy too, right on the other side, right?
There's ZB construction.
Yeah.
There
might be
like,
two
Ducharme and Dillis isn't even in there anymore, so they're not on this list anyway. But so just anything like that. Reach Fitness, that's over by the liquor store. They weren't on here. The liquor store is not even on here. I don't know why. Are they not a Bolton business? I mean, they're a Bolton business. They're in
What
Bolton.
about that new dance studio?
Oh yeah, Dagnaw's is in here. What's the name of it? Do you remember?
I forget. They just had an article in the paper. I was going to bring up to you that we should do a video with them.
Yeah, it wasn't even on my radar that they were open yet.
Yeah, I think I saw at the selectmen's meeting that they're starting classes like in the summer or something, or spring.
Okay.
But maybe that would be good to talk to them about.
Yeah.
Because I think we even maybe might get more reach on our Facebook videos than, I don't know how many people are reading the paper.
The Bolton paper, yeah. Well, anyway, we don't have to talk about this anymore, but it's, I think we got a good start, but we just need to clean up the list and add people that we know that should be on it. And the Colonial Candies just wanted me to know that they're adding 4 electric car charger stations.
Oh, cool.
It goes with candy.
I mean, they are right off the highway. It's not.
Yeah, no, he was just like, make sure you let everyone know that we're adding, and I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I'll let people know. So there, I think. Yeah.
How long are people in a candy store where they're going to get a meaningful car charge?
Well, yeah, people are.
Should we put something in the paper?
For a gas station, we wouldn't ask that question. If it were a gas station, we might, but not the same question.
Yeah. What was that, Larry?
Should we put something in the paper though? Come the first week of August.
April, for what? For
this?
business?
Yeah.
I think it might be invite only. But
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we might be opening up a whole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's also Bolton Stowe. That paper.
Right.
I mean, I guess
we should do a backyard Bolton thing in there. I'm sure it's been done before, but if not,
yeah. But this, I mean, especially, we're
with the changing schedule,
we'll probably be footing the bill for food, I would think. So, don't want to invite the whole town.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a good, a good 50 at least businesses on here that I know are in business. So, I mean, whether they would all come or I don't know, but I think it's a good start for our first one, and then we can kind of see how it goes.
Mhm.
Amy, do you want me to just use your Yahoo account for this folder? I started sending it out to people. Or
Oh,
you
I
have
have
the Gmail?
Gmail though. Mhm.
All right, yeah, just send it to the chat. And then
Oh,
Eric,
okay.
if you want to add I don't think I'm the owner of the backyard bulletin list, so I don't know if you want to just move it into that
Yeah.
folder you shared.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, and then Amy, if I'm fine taking the Excel file you have, and I can migrate it into a Google Doc.
Yeah, that would be great.
It's not. I do it all the time.
Perfect.
Do it for work. I do it for other things. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess so it's a month away, so we probably should start getting invites out.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Mhm.
Just should we just do like an Evite, like a paperless post or Evite type thing? Would that
Yeah. We don't need to
all right,
know,
I can take care of creating that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
So if you guys could just take a look at the list, by this week, I don't think it should take long just to peruse it. And then just delete anybody that isn't one and add anybody that is. And because then I can just take that and that'll be the invite list.
Yeah, so when we start to get RSVPs, then Larry, maybe you can talk to Bruce and figure out food wise what would be there. And I'm not sure where he wants to put us. So you can deal with
Right.
that.
I will.
That is, yeah. I'm sure he's gonna try to donate it, but try to push him that we'll pay.
Okay.
If knowing Bruce, he's gonna be like, no. Just
Okay.
put it out. Okay, I think that's all on that. I think that sounds good. And that's great work that you've been
Yeah, I'm
doing on that
excited about
list.
it. I think it'll be
Yeah.
good, especially after going to the one in Hudson, because it was really a
Mhm.
good community of businesses. And
And it sounds like what you and Sean Woods were saying from the meeting at the International, that there is a thirst for it. So
yeah,
that's good. All right. So the next thing was backyard Bolton update. So we're officially on for May 13th. There was a little bit of a contention for that date with the Bolton's Artisans Guild. But Yvette Monstadt, who ran that, actually preferred that we took it over. So it's kind of a combo. She sent all the emails of people who had been in that Artisans Guild event on Mother's Day or Mother's Day weekend to me. And along with the my original list. And also there's a group of people in town that are going to be selling seedlings. So it's looking like it's going to be pretty full. There's a ton of interest in it. I got from Sean Serrell a flyer. I was thinking about on that Canva tool, maybe just making it a little bit more, adding a little spring flair to that. I was going to try to take a crack at it or something. Sean.
Whatever you want. If you have photos, I can do it, or if you want to, it's
yeah.
I just didn't really have any events photos itself that I thought would be good.
So I haven't officially sent out info to the town. I know we're 2 months out, so I think we're still good on that. I thought 3 months is too long anyway, but I definitely want to start getting vendors lined up. I think I already have 25 to 30 people who want to come, and there's a ton of the Artists Guild.
I think that's great because they're for Mother's Day gifts, that's good, high quality products.
Yeah. So I've been saying yes to the Bolton Artists Guild people right away. And I know people had been coming to hers from all around, there's been people from Ayr and a bunch of other towns, but I was kind of passing on them my first time through just to see how many people, because I think 40 to 50 is probably kind of around our max. So I just wanted to see where we were number wise, and then I'll go back through. Just kind of focus on Bolton and local people surrounding towns.
Yeah, first. And just my 2 cents is focus on actual vendors, maybe more than the local groups that want to have a bake sale or something. I think you know, if we don't have enough people, we could open it up to them. But if we have enough people that are actually selling, because I think people will be, you know, they'll be excited about it if it's a good, you know, amount of things that they can purchase.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking even like on the organizations, maybe we could put them in the pavilion, like kind of have like that one area too. If we have a lot of people.
Table instead of like a whole vendor.
Exactly.
I like that idea.
And we could set up like the pavilion, kind of like a congregation kind of area where, kind of like the info area, kind of, you know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
But there's definitely a ton of interest. So definitely have to start getting the marketing aspect of that going. Oh, and the other thing, Parks and Rec, when I went to their meeting for the acceptances, they were really pushing charging vendors, which I didn't really want to do. But where it ended up as is that anybody from out of Bolton, they want to charge $25 a person, which isn't a terrible lot because other like fairs are, you know, 100 or more. I know like the Clinton Old Home Fair is a few $100s, but so I was like, yeah, that's all right. And, you know, it favors Bolton people, you know, they won't get charged at all, but.
Do they want to collect that, or is that like up to us?
Well, that's what I said. I said, I don't want anything to do with collecting it. I'll send out your info, and if you want to deal with it, fine. And most people who want to be in it, they're like, okay, how much is it? How much is the fee, and where's the forms? And I'm always like, oh, it doesn't cost anything, and there's no forms. So I think the general, for the most part, people are fine with it, you know. And I don't know.
Yeah, 25 is very reasonable for these type of things.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it helps out with, you know, maintenance of the common or something, then that's fine. So that's where we're at with that. I think they let me know that, you know, for this one, we're fine, but they're planning on potentially this summer putting in irrigation. So once that happens, we won't be able to let people drive on the common. So that's going to be kind of an issue you know, offloading all that stuff. So that's something we'll have to think about in the future.
Yeah, I think the best thing we can do, Eric, is to over communicate that in advance so that we're not just like trying to get in front of F-150s that are driving on the grass.
Yeah, that'll be your job.
yeah, that'll fall on me, and I don't want nothing to do with that. So it's just big bold letters in the bottom of the invite for the summer.
Yeah, like I don't know, even if we knew anybody in town that had a moving company or something, if we can get like wheelie carts or something for the day or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
yeah, it does make it a little more challenging for the vendors that are set up on the kind of like the back corner.
Yeah,
exactly. But it's understandable if they put in the irrigation, they don't want it to be damaged. So. And
well, we've done this enough times too, Eric, where we could probably be a little bit strategic about where we place people. Like some of the people that have less stuff or lighter stuff, we can put more towards the back where, you know, the big
for sure,
right on the edge of the parking lot.
Right. But that's not a concern for this first one in May, but potentially at the end of the summer it will be. What else on that? I think that's about it. So, you know, we're plowing forward with it. May 13th. People are asking the other dates, and I've been telling them end of August and early September, you know, for the other two. I know we were talking about Christmas, but, you know, we'll get to that maybe in a month or two. So I don't know if there's anything else we can move on. All right. Let me see.
We covered backyard Bolton. We covered master business list.
Yeah. Oh, so welcome to Bolton letter. So I Todd dug up the welcome to Bolton letter. Thank you for
that's right. Yeah, before you got in here, I was kind of just apprising some of the other members here, not Amy at all, and I was able to get into Valerie, and I was able to get into Erica Uriarty's aspect of the archive there. Not so much useful there. However, I was able to access Ms. Ortweese's files there, and I was able to find the original draft of that Welcome to Bolton letter, and that's the one I kind of modernized it, gave it a little bit of a facelift, and sent it over to you, Eric.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that's listed at the bottom there as the primary voice while giving them welcome. So I sent that over to you and wanted to have you take a look at it and see if you want to make any edits or tweaks. If not, then very good. I'll print up a bunch and I'll have them for the at the clerk's office when folks sign up for a business.
My one comment was so I forwarded it to everybody. You probably didn't have a chance to read it.
Great. Not yet.
But it mentions social media that we can market you on, and also the webpage, which we don't really do anything with the webpage. So I'm kind of thinking just get rid of that. You know,
want me to
just
focus on the Facebook or just nix it all?
Oh no, leave Facebook. You know,
Okay, that's what I was like. It looks pretty recent on there.
Yeah, no, Facebook is good, but like I don't know, the
website
webpage
we can steer them away from the website and just direct them to the Facebook then.
And until we can update it. I mean, I'm kind of a little embarrassed by it. It's so outdated. I don't know, like if anybody here has the cycles to like work on it and knows WordPress. I mean, I know WordPress, I just don't have the time.
Same. I've worked on WordPress, but I just don't. I'm spread too thin already. I don't have any added time. If someone could invent a new workday, I'd be happy to work it, but we're kind of short.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe nix that off the list, the letter.
Yeah, but I can do that.
I don't know if it's worthwhile sharing it here or not, or if people just read it on their own and send notes. But yeah, so that's one aspect of it. And then the second aspect would be, you know, a way to automatically get it sent out when new businesses are in town. I know it's a little bit difficult, but
I think the point to do that would be at the point of contact when they go to the clerk's office to put in for the business certificate. I think that might be the cleanest and simplest way to go about it.
So you're saying just hand it to them?
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah.
That might be the easiest, simplest, most elegant solution to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because also when they submit for the business certificate, that's an easy way to capture whatever contact information we will need to reach out to them later. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Todd,
Yeah,
are you aware when they do that, or is that the town clerk?
I am aware when that happens because through the system that we have for the e-permitting system, it goes through that entire cycle. So as soon as they fill out the form and then pay the little fee to the town clerk's office, it gets input into our e-permitting system, and from there it's alerted to all of relevant parties. So I do get alerts.
Can you then alert us?
Was that? I couldn't hear that. What?
Can you then alert us?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So basically, when folks put in for that business certificate, of course, the town clerk alerts me. I have to give it a thumbs up, which I always do, because primarily it's there just to get a bank account. But the good thing is it does provide me an alert when new businesses are seeking certification or certificates. And then when I get that notification, I'll just kind of kick it over to you guys and just kind of get you apprised on what new business is seeking a certificate.
Yeah, that would be great. Because I mean, once we get this master business list cleaned up and for the most part updated, I'd like to be able to continue to update it.
Yeah, it's a very easy thing to do. Once it's established and cleaned up and kind of modernized, then it's just a matter of maintenance to just continually adding the new certificates to that list. Sure.
Okay, I think that's a good system.
Yeah.
I think I'll look, a couple of the wording on the letter. We talked about just social media. I forget if we said like stories and videos, but definitely videos is a bigger aspect of what we do now.
Sure. I can adjust that to suit so it's focused on the video content.
Yeah, let me go and read it. I think everybody should go and read it. If you have any comments, just send it to the group.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I'll as soon as I get back into the office tomorrow, I'll go ahead and I'll implement some of the changes we talked about here by removing the website and adding some language that kind of italicizes and emphasizes the video content that's there on Facebook, and then I'll share it around to everybody.
I mean, we can also. I know that, and I think we mentioned ribbon cutting in there, but I know the chamber. We could support local chambers of commerce. With a ribbon cutting.
Sure. Yeah. Ribbon cuttings is mentioned in that, if I recall.
Okay. Good. I think that's it for that. But the whole chain of process, like Amy was saying, they, get a business certificate, they get added to the list. We contact them, just the whole bringing them into the community, I think is a good piece. It's kind of that's the onset of entering this little subculture that we have here in Bolton. Yeah.
Business owners and operators in town. It makes sense. Sense.
Are we, because I mean, there's a lot of new businesses and we had kind of talked about the ribbon cuttings, but are we thinking that we may want to do that, or we want to have the chamber do that? And if so, we need to connect with them because I mean, there's
It seems like the chamber is perfectly happy in doing it.
Yeah.
So if they want to organize it, great. But like, if we can direct them to the chamber, and even like, get support from the town.
Yeah,
like
maybe I'll reach out to, I know I had talked to Sarah Cressy about it.
Yeah.
And she said she kind of likes them to be in business for a while before they do it, just to kind of let them kind of settle and work out the kinks and whatnot. But I can talk to her.
Sure. And if nothing else, we can just liaise between the two different parties, if nothing else, and just connect A to B. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we can get like, if we could be the, get people from, like, if we're there, one of us would be representative, and if you could somehow get a selectman or, Don Lowe or something like that, somebody from town hall.
Yeah.
Maybe we take care of that piece, just kind of attending and supporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Recording stopped.
Oh, hang on. Sorry about that.
Recording in progress.
There we go.
Just one thing I really wanted to that I wrote down when I was at the Hudson thing is that there's an Assabet Valley Innovation Alliance. Anybody aware of what that is? It's like it's a nonprofit that supports local businesses, and they have all these grants, and they're looking to help spend the money on local small businesses. And they do seminars and all kinds of support. So I haven't looked at it. I just wrote it down because I know we had kind of talked about, that might be something as a committee that we want to do too, is like support small businesses.
Yeah, for sure.
Even just letting them know about it.
Exactly. It's a community development corporation. Absolutely. And those skills and those workshops and classes that they hold can be invaluable to people.
And they're looking to help people. Like they don't, it sounds like they're like actively trying. So, Yeah,
when I was working for the 5 towns of the Quabbin School District, I was the economic development director for those 5 towns. Over there, we have the Quabog Valley Community Development Corporation, and that's their primary. I mean, they have their fingers in quite a few pies, but primarily they're there as an educational and policy resource for independent operators and home-based operators within that rural 5-town cluster. Those classes can be invaluable to independent and owner operators. For example, you can have someone who's a master when it comes to making artisanal cheese. Ironically enough, in New Braintree, we have, in that small little narrow subculture, they are a world-class cheesemaker in little old New Braintree. You wouldn't know it, but if that's your thing, they're the bee's knees. However, these folks are remarkable at crafting exotic and tasty cheese. However, they are atrociously awful at marketing themselves and their product. They just don't have that skill set, and that's okay. But they've expressed a desire to learn that skill set, and by taking a couple classes at QVCDC, they've improved themselves markedly, and their marketing plan has really caused them to take off in a much bigger way than otherwise they'd be able to. So it's really pound for pound. It's really worth the time, and if we have that, we should be able to push that onto people as a resource because it's absolutely useful, very much so.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I'll look into it a little bit more, but I think that's if we can provide that type of, even just that information to the business owners, I think that'll be a really good thing for our committee.
Agreed.
In town, I know, I try to watch all the selectmen's meetings, and there's definitely a huge push over the past, few years to try to get as much grant money as possible, which I don't know that we were doing before that. But it appears that there's tons of money out there if you're, willing to apply for it.
That's mostly true. It depends on what sort of tree you're looking to shake, really. That's kind of
what I'm saying is, maybe, like smaller businesses and stuff don't even know anything about it. So that would be a good, my only point is it would be an area for us to research. And if there was something we knew of and we can pass it along to our, email chain, that would be great. It would be good service.
I think anything like that we like, here's this resource and here's that resource. It'll
exactly.
Just really kind of elevate our committee to be, helpful.
Especially, it's also important for everyone, just for food for thought for everyone. In the eyes of the federal government, we're still designated as a rural community, and that won't be that way forever. Likely in the next 3 to 5 years, we're due to lose that rural designation.
It's 5,000. Is it 5,000 people?
It goes by population density. There's entire matrix and rubric and formula that goes into that. So it's not just a simple, oh, we have 6 people per square mile, we're definitely rural. It's not exactly like that.
Yeah.
They have their own formula within the USDA, especially for that, as well as HUD. But for those programs, we should be kind of leaning into some of that, because the good thing is about being designated as rural, even though we're rural, but not as rural as, say, New Braintree, for example. The good thing is that the folks that live in those truly, truly bucolic towns in the western part of the state, they very much qualify and they very much have the need, but sadly, they don't have the staff to even ask for the money. So that leads to a tendency where those resources aren't fully utilized, and a lot of the grant money they have allocated isn't fully expended. So because of that, the competitive grants, while technically competitive, in actuality, they're not very difficult to beat out the competition. They're really not. So there's a very fruitful avenue in looking for money through there. The only tricky thing is a lot of those grants are also means tested, which of course Bolton doesn't have any issues with means. So if it's a matter of serving less prosperous parts of the state, then we likely won't qualify. But for the few programs that aren't means tested, we're in a very good shape to receive that money and win those grants. So it's a give and take. So it's something I'll explore and I'll share with people as it comes up.
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You got it.
Let's see. I don't think there's anything else on that. So the last thing on the list was the Welcome to Bolton sign. We have a revolving fund. Yes,
we do. We have a gift fund for that. Yes.
Yeah. So a gift fund, that's what it's called. Okay. Yes. So, I mean, basically everybody on the board pays $50 a year for maintenance. And in general, well, 2 things. First of all, I don't feel like it's been maintained very well. It'd be nice if some landscaping could be done and stuff. So, we should probably, I don't know, we have that money if the DPW is too busy, and if we want to, hire a landscaper, we have that. Or if we want to add, some type of landscaping, we have that. And then the other piece is who's on the list. Do we have room for more? There's a waiting list. I know, like we need to get signs made up. So we need to get back on managing that Welcome to Bolton sign, I think. And even there's actually there's a solar light that hasn't worked for like 3 or 4 years. So I mean, like stuff like maintaining that. I don't know, like maybe one of us needs to take charge of that whole thing or something.
I can reach out to Randy in terms of contacting DPW and see if, especially now that spring is fast approaching, they're going to be out doing maintenance and lawn tending. So I can just have them tack that onto their project list and make sure that they address that when they're out and about. Either way.
Okay. I know, like snow gets pushed up against there, so we always said that we didn't want to put anything in the front. But I know during the summer it gets super overgrown and looks pretty gnarly. Looks pretty bad when we have like weeds growing up to the sign.
It's just not a good look. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that's solar light and just taking an assessment of who's on there and if anybody new is going to go on there and stuff. I think there's a couple of gaps. I forget exactly.
Yeah, there are. There's 2 or 3 if I remember.
Yeah. And then along with that, so the point of that sign was to be at the, as you come into town from the highway on each side. So we actually have a second sign that was supposed to go kind of, I guess, coming northbound, I guess what it would be when you come off and you're facing kind of the Kane property.
Down the approach of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I guess it was like state-owned land or something. So, we couldn't put the sign there and we didn't know it was going to go on that land. So we do have that second sign. So I don't know. We should ask, and I think it's DPW. I could be wrong, but it's stored somewhere.
It's likely with DPW.
Yeah,
because I don't have it in my office clearly. So I'll reach out. I'll reach out to Randy and see what we can track down for it.
I heard at one selectmen's meeting they were talking about putting something on the rotary or the roundabout. Maybe that sign might be too big. You might need something lower with more visibility. But
Yeah, I'd have to see the dimensions of it. It's
Yeah.
interesting, Bob.
Yeah.
Very good.
I don't know. So, but in general, we should, maybe in the next meeting, before the next meeting, you can send out the waiting list. People are on there and how many gaps, and we could talk about
Sure.
getting that on there and what we want to do with the money in the fund.
Sure, I'll see what I can see. I'll see what I can dig up if there's an existing Word doc, for example, that has a waiting list actually stipulated there. If not, I can reach out to Kristen Zena because I know that she has she's got quite a bit of information on that particular Welcome to Bolton site too. And between the two of us, I'm sure we'll be able to find the next place to start off from.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts on that or anything, but that was all that was on the agenda list. I don't know if anybody has anything else they want to talk about. If not, I think we have a pretty good list of things we're working on now.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? No?
Amy, if you can just give me the updated list from like a few weeks back. You're on mute too. The updated list from a few weeks back, then I'll try to move it into Google Doc.
I just put it in there.
Oh, cool. All right.
So
I think.
it should be a pretty easy import into
check it.
Google Sheets, I think.
It should be, but I haven't opened it. Normally it is. Sometimes it depends on like
Yeah.
formatting. And no, it's in there. Yeah. So I mean,
Great.
I can message you and figure out if you want to just keep updating it or whenever you think it's ready. If there's other things we want to do with it to whittle it down, just let me know.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody can just look at it and delete anything that you absolutely know is not a business in town anymore, and then highlight in blue anything you know is a business.
Okay.
That would be really helpful.
Yeah, I don't know if Eric made the comments on the other version, but he was definitely right about the beetle bug and Castro's auto repair. That one confirmed.
They're not businesses anymore.
Beetle bug ceased to be the same location, was taken over by Castro's. Yeah.
So are they in Bolton?
No, the Castro's, yes. Beetle can be deleted.
Okay.
Very good.
Do you want us to like highlight them in red if we think they should be deleted, or just delete them or something?
Just delete them. I mean,
Okay. All right. Sure.
if you know they're not a business,
Sure.
then
Okay.
just delete them.
Okay. Yeah.
Just talk quickly about scheduling before we drop. We
Sure.
have the next meeting scheduled for Monday, April 3rd, which is the day before the business social.
Yeah.
That, is getting together the day before to talk about what like who's going to be there doing what enough time, or should we try to get together a little sooner than that, you think?
I think it's okay. I mean, we could probably, talk offline on plans.
I kind of had the same feeling.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a major, like, it's not like we're trying to arrange speakers or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I don't see any major roadblocks to that unless folks, have something that immediately jumps to mind, but I think should be.
No, and I'll just throw out like Larry and Amy, if you run into anything that you need help on the areas that you're leading, just feel free to tap the rest of us.
Okay.
So I guess maybe we should set our meeting for May. Town meeting is what, 8th and 9th, Todd?
That sounds right, sir.
So
hold on, let me just make sure we didn't already.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's right. Hang on.
'Cause I think we talked about this, doing it like right after the town meeting, if I remember.
Yeah, so we should probably do it later in the second week or early in the third week.
The town meeting is 8th and 9th May.
Yeah.
So we could either do the 1st or the 15th. I mean, the 1st would keep was there a reason why we wouldn't do the 1st? I forget. Probably just do the 1st. I don't know, unless there was a reason not to.
There's not any burning reason, no?
Yeah. Let's just keep the first Monday, keep it consistent.
We don't want to wait till after the town meeting.
I mean, why? I mean, would there be anything that would
just to recap, if there's anything that comes out of it that we should address? I suppose we can do that in the June meeting too. So it's only another 2 weeks, 3 weeks from there.
Yeah.
Sure.
I would say just stay consistent with the first Monday. I mean,
cool.
Consistency will get more attendance probably.
Monday, May 1st at 7.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Okay.
then our April meeting is the April 4th thing. Is
April
that correct? Or my
3rd.
April.
We have an EDC.
Oh,
meeting
so we're
scheduled for April
we're gonna
3rd.
meet April 3rd. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
if-
good. Yeah.
We'll keep it on the schedule if we see, if there's nothing to talk about, then,
Okay.
you know, I don't want to just twiddle our thumbs so we could cancel it, but,
Right.
there's definitely
Quick
stuff
meeting
going on.
meeting just to make sure we have our ducks in a row for the event.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just have a quick 15-minute meeting.
Yeah, I'm good with that. And along that note, I don't have anything else to talk about, so get people on their
Alright.
way if you want to get going.
Alright.
Let people have their dinner if they haven't eaten yet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
alrighty.
Okay,
I
thanks,
guess
everybody.
motion to adjourn.
All right, this was good.
All right,
Second.
all right, great.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
thank you,
All in
everybody.
favor?
Thank
All
you.
in favor, yes.
All in favor.
All in favor.
Bye.
Unanimous. Let's
Bye,
put it in.